one that can do what Caitlin Clark did. Bring all those eyes. For pure basketball purists, there's nobody like her.
Have you ever noticed how some WNBA players seem uneasy whenever Caitlin Clark's name is mentioned? It's almost as if seeing someone else succeed bothers them. Let's be honest, though, Caitlin Clark has been stealing the spotlight with her amazing accomplishments recently.
What she did, and I don't know if you saw, Indiana Fever yesterday posted this clip of Caitlin, and the caption was just her accolades, and it took 5 minutes to read, and I'm like, girl, do you want to chill at all? She doesn't know.
Zero. And listen, I think this is probably the easiest decision to make, right?
Caitlin Clark's list of achievements keeps growing, from being named Times Athlete of the Year to making Forbes 30 Under 30, and most recently, winning SBJ's Business Athlete of the Year and the Associated Press Female Athlete of the Year. Yet, the WNBA's social media feels oddly quiet, kind of like an ex who forgets to invite you to the party. What's going on with the cold shoulder? And why are some WNBA veterans starting to show signs of jealousy? In this video, we'll explore Clark's trailblazing success, what it means for women's sports, and why the WNBA and some veterans seem to be having trouble dealing with it. Ready to dive in? Let's go.
It all happened so fast, it's hard to appreciate in the moment.
That is Iowa native and Indiana Fever star, and now Times 2024 Athlete of the Year, Caitlin Clark, looking back at a whirlwind year.
Some rookies make a splash, but Caitlin Clark didn't just make waves, she unleashed a tsunami on the WNBA, and the aftershocks are still being felt. Let's break it down. Her rookie season wasn't just good, it was legendary. She averaged 19.2 points, 8.4 assists, and 5.7 rebounds per game. But here's the real game changer, she led the entire league in assists and three-pointers made. That's not just impressive, it's elite. And, along the way, she broke an astounding 62 records.
Record she broke not only in college, not only her rookie season. So much has been accomplished for the Indiana Fever. They broke the WNBA home attendance for a single franchise. I believe the Mystics and the Fever game was the most viewed WNBA game ever in history, single game attendance. So just so many things have happened in such a short amount of time on the back of Caitlin Clark.
Here's where it gets even more fascinating. Caitlin Clark's impact off the court is just as mind-blowing. During her debut season, WNBA merchandise sales skyrocketed by a staggering 500%. Yes, you read that right, a six-fold increase. It's as if Clark worked some kind of magic and suddenly everyone wanted a piece of the WNBA. But it's not just about the jerseys. Her presence has completely transformed the league. Viewership is up, attendance is through the roof, and the WNBA is reaching new audiences like never before.
Ever seen somebody in this way capture an audience, capture a new audience, and be able to absolutely attribute real numbers and statistics to their popularity, right? Like 19 million people watching, and certainly watching the national champion.
Even sports economists are taking notice. One expert, Darren Leal, called Caitlin Clark a lightning rod for women's basketball, and he's right. Her impact is so huge that some people are even drawing comparisons between her and Michael Jordan, thanks to the way she's elevating the sport's profile.
Things a lot, but she created a new floor. So now we're going to look back, even if it doesn't hit the numbers that it hit this season. The expectation is much higher. The interest is generally much higher. The investment is much higher.
The interest is higher, the investment is bigger. Let's look at the numbers. Caitlin Clark's presence alone is estimated to generate a staggering $36 million for Indianapolis. That kind of impact definitely gets the attention of team owners and city officials. But here's the real game changer, Clark's influence isn't just helping the WNBA. Darren Leal predicts that professional women's basketball as a whole could see its combined value increase by $1.6 billion, yes, billion, with a B, over the next 3 years. So what does all this mean? Simply put, Caitlin Clark isn't just a great basketball player, she's a phenomenon. She's reshaping the game, attracting new fans, and creating a massive economic ripple effect. In short, she's the superstar the WNBA has been waiting for.
Time the WNBA has been trying to get on this global scale, and I feel like that's the direction they are finally headed. I think that WNBA fans have always been proud supporters and pushers of the advancements of this league, but sometimes it takes a certain star of a certain caliber to really just expand and explode the league from the inside out, and that's what Caitlin Clark is.
Caitlin Clark is undeniably making waves, but not everyone is celebrating this rookie sensation. some people in the WNBA world seem to be having a hard time adjusting to this new reality. Why is that? Well, that's a whole other story, and we're about to dig into it.
22-year-old Caitlin Clark, who has single-handedly changed the game, brought in millions of other young fans, old fans. How about the ratings in college basketball for her? Record ratings. And now in her very short WNBA career, shattering records. Isn't that a win for everybody?
Imagine being the biggest star in your league, breaking records left and right, only for your own organization to act like you don't even exist. Sounds crazy, right? Well, that's Caitlin Clark's reality in the WNBA. Let's be honest, most major pro sports leagues roll out the red carpet when a rookie like Clark dominates. Just look at the NBA. Generational talents like LeBron James, Steph Curry, Luka Doncic, and Victor Wembanyama were celebrated from the moment they stepped onto the scene, plastered all over social media, featured in league promotions, and treated like royalty. So, why isn't Clark getting the same kind of treatment?
What are we doing and why? Please stop. Let's celebrate Caitlin Clark, celebrate her greatness, celebrate her courage to keep pushing through.
But in the WNBA? Crickets. When Caitlin Clark was named Associated Press Female Athlete of the Year, a huge honor, by the way, the league's response was just a retweet. No congratulations, no heartfelt write-up, no proud acknowledgement, just a cold, emotionless share. Now, compare that to how the WNBA celebrated Candace Parker when she won the same award a few years ago. They went all out, creating a dedicated post that highlighted her achievements and showed genuine pride. So, what's going on? Why the stark difference in how Clark is being treated?
You go, girl. Don't listen to these people. Keep going strong. Most of us are normal and have your back.
It's not just about one award either. Caitlin Clark has been collecting accolades like they're going out of style, but the WNBA's response has been strangely silent. No hype videos, no congratulatory posts, nothing. It's as if they're actively avoiding acknowledging her success. Fans have definitely noticed, and they're not happy. People are questioning why the league isn't capitalizing on Clark's popularity. She's bringing in new fans, boosting merchandise sales, and creating huge buzz. Any other league would be shouting her name from the rooftops. So why isn't the WNBA? Is it jealousy, resentment, or internal politics? Whatever the reason, the league's silence is raising some serious questions about how they treat their star players. But if you thought the league's response was odd, wait until you hear how some of Clark's fellow players are reacting. Turns out, some WNBA veterans aren't exactly thrilled about sharing the spotlight. If you've made it this far and are enjoying the video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. We appreciate your support. Now, let's dive back into it. What little girl wants to grow up and play in a league where she's targeted like this? How can you expect people to take women's sports seriously when you can't even act like professionals instead of high school queens on the court? It's ridiculous, straight up soap opera stuff. You'd think professional athletes would be above petty drama, but no. The green-eyed monster has shown up in the WNBA, and it's taking aim at Caitlin Clark. Who's leading this not-so-subtle shade parade? Let's be honest, professional jealousy in sports isn't new. We've seen it in every league, from the NFL to the NBA. But some of the reactions to Clark's success in the WNBA are next level. Take A'ja Wilson, for example. The three-time WNBA MVP should be secure in her own greatness, but clearly isn't. In a Time article, Wilson threw shade at Clark's recognition, questioning the criteria and implying that Clark's achievements weren't based purely on performance. That's a tough look. To top it off, Wilson reportedly turned down a lucrative offer to join a rival league, with sources revealing she was offered more money than Clark. And guess what? This info conveniently leaked right after Clark declined to join the same league. Coincidence? I don't think so. It almost seems like Wilson is trying to stay relevant, but here's the kicker, nobody even asked her about it. She made sure that info got out there less than 24 hours after Clark's decision. Talk about trying to steal someone's thunder. Then there's Angel Reese, the LSU star who's been working overtime to match Clark's popularity since their NCAA showdown. Reese has been on a mission to remind everyone that women's basketball isn't just about Caitlin Clark. In her own words, the reason why we're watching women's basketball is not just because of one person, it's because of me too. Talk about feeling threatened. Even sports commentators are picking up on the jealousy vibe. Skip Bayless called out Reese's post-game remarks, saying they reek of jealousy and bitterness toward Clark. Ouch, but the most unexpected shade comes from WNBA legend Sheryl Swoopes. You'd think she'd be supporting the next generation, right? Wrong. Swoopes publicly questioned the criteria for Clark's Time Athlete of the Year award, suggesting that players like A'ja Wilson deserved similar recognition. Come on, Sheryl, there's enough spotlight to go around. This behavior isn't just petty, it could hurt the league. The WNBA is at a critical point in its growth, with Clark driving new fans and media attention. But instead of riding this wave of momentum, some of the league's biggest names are busy playing high school drama. What kind of message does this send to new fans, sponsors, and young girls dreaming of playing in the WNBA? This internal drama could seriously hurt team dynamics and the league's marketability. So, what's next for the WNBA in the Caitlin Clark era? Will the veterans learn to embrace her success, or will jealousy continue to run rampant? One thing's for sure, the drama isn't just on the court anymore. While players are busy throwing shade, it's the fans who might get burned. Speaking of getting burned, it's not just the players causing a stir in the WNBA world. The media's coverage of Clark has been interesting, to say the least. Imagine this, a rising star breaking records left and right, with half the sports world cheering her on and the other half squinting suspiciously. Welcome to the bizarre world of Caitlin Clark coverage, where praise and scrutiny collide in the most unexpected ways. Let's be real, sports media isn't always objective. But the way Caitlin Clark's story is being told feels like watching two different movies at the same time. On one side, non-WNBA media outlets are falling over themselves to crown Clark as the new queen of basketball. They're all about her record-breaking stats, her impact on viewership, and how she's changing the game. Time magazine even named her Athlete of the Year alongside Lionel Messi, Aaron Judge, and Simone Biles. No unbiased person would consider this a controversial choice. But flip to WNBA-specific media, and suddenly the tone shifts. It's like they're watching a completely different player. Instead of celebrating her achievements, they're questioning the criteria. It's almost like they're searching for any excuse to downplay her impact. Some have even suggested that Clark hasn't won anything yet, implying that her popularity isn't entirely earned. This dividing coverage is more than just differing opinions, it's creating two separate narratives about the same player. Mainstream media is all about the Caitlin Clark effect, how she's boosting ratings, ticket sales, and interest in women's basketball. But WNBA insiders seem more focused on comparing her to established stars like A'ja Wilson, often implying that Clark's popularity isn't fully deserved. What's driving this negative coverage from within the WNBA media bubble? Is it about protecting the status quo, fear of change, or just a misguided attempt to counterbalance the mainstream hype? Whatever the reason, it's creating confusion for anyone trying to follow Clark's career. So how does this media maze affect public perception of Clark and the WNBA as a whole? Are we missing out on celebrating a generational talent because some can't get past their own biases? What does this mean for the future of women's basketball? One thing's for sure, the Caitlin Clark story is far from over. How it's told could shape the league for years to come. What a ride, right? Clark's success isn't just reshaping the WNBA, it's flipping the whole script. But with great success comes great jealousy. So what's next for the WNBA in the Caitlin Clark era? Will the league embrace its new superstar, or keep playing this strange game of hide-and-seek with her achievements? One thing's for sure, the ball's in their court. How they play it will shape the future of women's basketball.